Hi, Ben Kingsley here, and attention all property investors who use Moorr. Yes, I'm talking to the 19,200 of you as at today, and those numbers are growing daily. And yes, we're all managing over 35,000 investment properties on the Moorr platform. Well, have I got some exciting news today, because I get to introduce you to MyPROPERTY Portfolio View. So what is it? Well, it's effectively like managing your share portfolio. You get to see a global view of your overall portfolio. So using the portfolio selection window, you can chop and change and have a look at each one of your different properties, or you can aggregate those properties and you can see insights associated with that in real time. All the calculations are done in the background to give you those valuable insights. In terms of the importance, there's three critical areas that most investors should be focusing on. The first one is the capital growth and the equity position that they're creating once they start paying their debt down. So we have that in terms of the net position charts and also that change over time. So that is a winner. In terms of the second critical thing you need to understand is your lending structure. So how are your loans structured? So the most important thing about that, you can start to now see, because when you get several properties, you can see all the different loans. It gets a little bit confusing for you. So you'll now start to see the purpose of the lending and also how they're secured. So you can toggle between those two different things to get those new insights. There's obviously other rich insights such as interest rates, repayment amounts, loan balances, and all of the other rich stuff under this portfolio view window. But that's critical point number 2. And finally, critical point number 3, and this is about the here and now, because obviously capital growth is happening over time, and it's one of our most popular features for our investors who use the Moorr platform, and that is around cash flow analysis and cash flow projections. So you already know that you can do individual cash flow projections under the property investment card, the asset card. So you're able to do that for each individual property, but now you can do that in aggregate. So again, by selecting that window, you can get to work in terms of starting to understand what that cash flow position looks like. And so the most powerful element of that is then seeing, do you have positive cash flow? Are you around neutral? Or if you have negative cash flow, you can then start to see from a budgeting point of view where I'm going to need to obviously kick in some additional money to be able to maintain that portfolio in the short term, because that's giving you a 12-month view at an aggregate level. Also under MyPROPERTY Portfolio View is the tax story. So when you're talking about the cash projections, inside that aggregate total, you can also open up and see the anticipated or forecast tax impacts. And I think a lot of investors really love that, like I do, to sort of know how much tax I might be saving, or potentially how much tax I might have to pay if I've got positive cash flow in my portfolio. So being able to see that also inside the portfolio view, where I've got my aggregate properties all selected, is another great insight that I love about the new portfolio view window inside Moorr. So the value here is really critical, is that most of us who have several properties, we're always interested in sort of knowing what the sum of those parts are looking like. Well, that's exactly what you can do under the new portfolio view. So why not check it out? Again, over 35,000 investment properties. If you're not already using Moorr, this is your opportunity to add all of your properties and all of your financial information inside Moorr and start tracking that, because it is built by property investors for property investors. It's part of our DNA as a qualified property investment advisor and someone who runs a business who's helped thousands of people organize their finances and manage their investment properties. This is the tool built for you to be able to do that. It is completely free to use. So there is still no charge when it comes to looking at your portfolio view and looking at those valuable insights as part of the offering here. So why not check it out today and give us some feedback and some reviews. And if you think we can improve it in any way, we'd love to hear from you. But please check out MyPROPERTY Portfolio View.